This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
When I received the list of participants in this course and realized that I had been asked to speak to philosophical colleagues, I thought, after some hesitation and consultation, that you would probably prefer me to speak about those problems which interest me most, and about those developments with which I am most intimately acquainted. I therefore decided to do what I have never done before, to give you a report on my own work in the philosophy of science since the autumn of 1919, when I first began to grapple with the problem, when should a theory be ranked as scientific, or is there a criterion for the scientific character or status of a theory? The problem which troubled me at the time was neither when is a theory true, nor when is a theory acceptable. My problem was different. I wished to distinguish between science and pseudoscience, knowing very well that science often errs and that pseudoscience may happen to stumble on the truth. I knew, of course, the most widely accepted answer to my problem, that science is distinguished from pseudoscience, or from metaphysics, by its empirical method, which is essentially inductive, proceeding from observation or experiment. But this did not satisfy me. On the contrary, I often formulated my problem as one of distinguishing between a genuinely empirical method and a non-empirical or even a pseudo-empirical method. That is to say, a method which, although it appeals to observation and experiment, nevertheless does not come up to scientific standards. The latter method may be exemplified by astrology, with its stupendous mass of empirical evidence based on observation, on horoscopes and on biographies. But as it was not the example of astrology which led me to my problem, I should perhaps briefly describe the atmosphere in which my problem arose and the examples by which it was stimulated. After the collapse of the Austrian Empire, there had been a revolution in Austria. The air was full of revolutionary slogans and ideas and new and often wild theories. Among the theories which interested me, Einstein's theory of relativity was no doubt by far the most important. Three others were Marx's theory of history, Freud's psychoanalysis, and Alfred Adler's so-called individual psychology. There was a lot of popular nonsense talked about these theories, and especially about relativity, as still happens even today. But I was fortunate in those who introduced me to the study of this theory. We all, the small circle of students to which I belonged, were thrilled with the result of Eddington's eclipse observations, which in 1919 wrought the first important confirmation of Einstein's theory of gravitation. It was a great experience for us, and one which had a lasting influence on my intellectual development. The three other theories I have mentioned were also widely discussed among students at that time. I myself happened to come into personal contact with Alfred Adler, and even to cooperate with him in his social work among the children and young people in the working-class districts of Vienna, where he had established social guidance clinics. It was during the summer of 1919 that I began to feel more and more dissatisfied with these three theories, the Marxist theory of history, psychoanalysis, and individual psychology, and I began to feel dubious about their claims to scientific status. My problem, perhaps, first took the simple form, what is wrong with Marxism, psychoanalysis, and individual psychology? Why are they so different from physical theories, from Newton's theory, and especially from the theory of relativity? To make this contrast clear, I should explain that few of us at the time would have said that we believed in the truth of Einstein's theory of gravitation. This shows that it was not my doubting the truth of those other three theories which bothered me, but something else. Yet neither was it that I merely felt mathematical physics to be more exact than the sociological or psychological type of theory. Thus, what worried me was neither the problem of truth, at that stage at least, nor the problem of exactness or measurability. It was rather that I felt that these other three theories, though posing as sciences, had in fact more in common with primitive myths than with science, that they resembled astrology rather than astronomy.